Let's dive right in to a world full of mystery.
Oh, yeah.
Rosicrucianism. You've given us these excerpts from the True and Invisible Rosicrucian Order.
Right.
It's posed way back in 1927, and honestly, it's a wild ride. Cryptic symbols,
Yeah.
hidden meanings, all that good stuff.
It is fascinating. It's like they try to really pull back the curtain on
Right.
what the Rosicrucian Order truly is.
Yeah.
And, it's not about secret handshakes and exclusive clubs.
Right.
It's more about this path of inner spiritual development.
Yeah, so we don't need like a fedora and a whip to go on this adventure.
Yeah.
But seriously, where do we even begin?
Well, a good place to start is with the founder of
Okay.
CRC.
Ah, yes.
Now, the question is, was he an actual historical figure?
Right?
Or was he a symbol for a spiritual journey? This text really leans towards allegory,
Yep.
Suggesting that CRC's life actually represents the development of the self
Oh, wow, that's it.
within each of us.
Okay, so the book actually gets into some really specific details about CRC.
Right.
It's almost like they're deliberately coded or something.
Yeah.
Like, take his birth date, 1378. It's totally packed with symbolism from the Kabbalah.
Oh, yeah. It's like each digit is a clue,
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing how numbers can have such hidden depths of meaning.
It makes you wonder, what other secrets are we missing?
Exactly.
The book even points out that his age at death 106 is connected to the mystical symbol of the fish, which ties it back to, to Christian symbolism.
Right.
And then there's his journey to Damascus and
Yes.
his encounters with Turks, which represent physical and mental purification.
Yeah.
It's like some kind of trial by fire.
It is. It's like they're giving us a map to this hidden world.
Yeah.
And even if we look at CRC as just an allegory, the path that he represents,
Okay.
it's laid out with such fascinating detail.
Right.
Now, this Rosicrucian path, as they describe it in this text,
Okay.
it unfolds across 10 grades.
10 grades. It's
Yeah.
a long journey.
It is.
Wow.
Each grade corresponds to a level of consciousness on the Kabbalistic tree of life.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a spiritual roadmap.
Okay, so is it like a step-by-step process where each level builds on the last?
Exactly. The text goes into detail on the first 5.
Okay.
And then it gives us kind of a glimpse
Right.
into the mysteries beyond.
Oh, interesting.
So it all starts with the first grade, the Zelator,
Zealot.
the beginner
Yeah.
who's full of zeal
Oh, yeah.
to understand that cosmic order within themselves.
So, like, when you realize how big the universe is, you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Everything is connected.
It's that mind-blown moment,
Exactly.
And their practices focus on things like visualizing their aura
Okay.
and attuning themselves to the Earth sphere,
Okay.
which is represented by the number 10 on
Yeah.
the Tree of Life Malkuth.
Right.
It's all about building a solid foundation.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
You can't build a skyscraper without a strong base, right?
Makes sense. What's next on this spiritual ladder?
Well, the second grade is called the Theoricus.
Diarca.
It's symbolized by the number 9.
Okay.
And they really dive deep into this concept of the unity of being.
Hmm.
So the idea that everything in the universe comes from a single source.
Okay, so instead of seeing things as separate, you start to see how everything's connected. The one.
Exactly, you got it.
Okay.
And their practices involve working with the moon sphere.
Okay.
Yes, odd. Visualizing violet light.
Mm-hmm.
And meditating on the Hermit Tarot card.
Wow, that's a beautiful image.
It is.
Okay, let's move on to grade 3,
All right.
the practicus.
Yeah,
Now we're getting into action, right?
absolutely. The practicus,
Okay.
represented by the number 8.
8, okay.
They start to bridge the gap between theory and action.
Oh, interesting.
They develop foresight, confident expectation,
Okay.
and they learn to harness the power of the astral light.
What's the astral light?
It's kind of like, that vital energy that flows through everything.
Oh, like a cosmic life force?
Precisely.
Okay.
And they even work with the Magician and the Sun tarot cards,
Wow.
which symbolize that ability to kind of shape reality with your intention.
So you're learning to use that universal energy
Yeah.
to manifest your goals.
That's powerful stuff.
Okay, this is getting really interesting. So grade 4,
Okay.
Philosophus.
Yeah,
I'm guessing it's all about developing a philosophy for life.
you got it.
Right.
The Philosophus, represented by the number 7,
Okay.
formulates this success-oriented philosophy that's rooted in experience.
So they're putting all this together, right?
Exactly. They're taking all their experiences and using that to guide their philosophy.
Okay.
And they recognize that desires are these powerful forces.
Right.
And the key is aligning those desires with cosmic intention.
Oh, so it's not about denying what you want.
Yeah.
It's about making sure it's aligned with a greater good.
Precisely.
Got it.
They work with the Venus sphere,
Yeah.
Netzach, and the Lover's Tarot card,
Okay.
which represents choice, harmony, and the beauty of aligning your will with the cosmic flow.
I'm loving how they're weaving these different systems together.
Yeah.
You know, the tree of life, the tarot, and these grades.
It is.
It's like a multi-dimensional puzzle.
Yeah, it really provides this structured framework for understanding these really profound ideas.
Okay, let's talk about the 5th grade Lesser Adept.
Okay.
This is the last one they really go into detail about.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a pretty big deal.
It is. The Lesser Adept, symbolized by the number 6, represents a major turning point on this path.
Wow.
They've kind of transcended duality, realizing that their personal power is just an extension of universal power.
Wow.
They even see beauty in the divine expression.
That sounds almost transcendent.
It is.
So what are they actually doing at this level?
Well, they're working with the sun sphere, Tifereth, visualizing yellow light. And they're using the Devil and Temperance tarot cards.
The devil.
Yeah, so the devil here represents the illusion of separateness and the limitations we put on ourselves. Temperance signifies balance, harmony, and that alchemical transformation of our lower nature into something higher.
So at this level, you really understand the forces within you.
Right.
And in the universe.
Yeah.
What about those higher grades?
Yeah.
Like the Greater Adept, Exempt Adept, all those.
Right.
They don't go into much detail about those.
Right.
No.
Well, the text kind of acknowledges that you can't really grasp those higher grades without direct experience.
Oh, okay.
It's like trying to explain the taste of chocolate to someone who's never had it.
I get it.
You know, words can only take you so far.
I totally understand.
But even though those higher grades are still kind of mysterious, the text does highlight one really important thing.
Okay.
The true nature of the Rosicrucian order itself.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Okay, so they're saying it's not about finding some secret society with a hidden headquarters or anything like that.
So we don't need to go on like a quest to find some ancient artifact to unlock these secrets. No hidden temples.
Not quite.
Or underground layers. Or
No. The true Rosicrucian order is described more as an inner lineage of spiritual attainment. It's not about rituals or regalia. It's about cultivating wisdom, self-mastery, and a deep connection to the divine within.
That's kind of a relief, to be honest.
Yeah.
It makes it feel more accessible. It's like it's something anyone can pursue.
Absolutely.
Regardless of like their background or their beliefs.
Yes. And actually the text goes on to warn about groups out there that might be claimed to be Rosicrucian and might try to exploit seekers.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
With promises of power or riches.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
With any spiritual path, it seems like there's always a risk of people taking advantage of other people's yearning to grow.
Discernment is key.
Yeah.
That's what they emphasize here.
Right.
You know, turning inward, focusing on your personal practice. And trusting that the right teachers and opportunities will appear when the time is right.
So it's not about finding the right organization or the right guru.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that divine spark within you and nurturing it through your practices. Like meditation, contemplation, self-reflection.
So if we were to apply these Rosicrucian principles to our own lives, even if we're not like formally initiated into any order, where do we even begin?
Well, think back to those first few grades that we discussed. You know, the Zealotore, laying that foundation.
Attuning themselves to the earth sphere, visualizing their aura.
Right.
It's all about grounding yourself, recognizing that even though you're just starting out, you're already connected to this vast web of cosmic forces.
That's like that childlike sense of wonder, you know?
Yeah.
That awe and feeling of interconnectedness.
Beautiful way to put it.
With the natural world.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you move to the Theoricus stage.
Right.
And you start to delve deeper into this concept of the unity of being.
Exactly, yeah.
You're seeing the interconnectedness of everything.
Yeah.
It's like going from seeing the individual trees to seeing the entire forest.
Precisely.
Right, yeah.
And then with the practicus, you start to bridge that gap between theory and action.
Okay.
You learn to harness the power of the astral light.
Okay.
That vital energy to manifest your goals.
Right. So it's not just contemplation anymore.
Right.
You're taking action.
Yeah, you're taking those insights.
Right.
And putting them into practice.
In the real world.
Exactly.
Then the philosophist comes in.
Right.
And they're developing their philosophy for life.
Yeah.
Based on all their experience.
Right. And they're learning to align their desires with cosmic intention. They realize that true success comes from working with the universe.
It's like finding that sweet spot.
Exactly.
Where your will and the cosmic will are aligned.
Yeah.
And your actions are in harmony.
Exactly.
With that universal flow.
Beautifully put.
And then we have the lesser adept.
Yes.
Who has reached this level of mastery.
Right.
They've transcended duality.
Yeah.
And they realize their own power is an extension of universal power.
It is a profound shift in perception.
It's like they've graduated from seeing themselves as separate.
Yes.
To seeing themselves as part of
a larger whole.
This larger whole.
That's a great way to put it. And you see this pattern throughout the grades, you know, working with different spheres. Visualizing colors, using tarot cards.
It's a really fascinating system.
It is.
It provides a real framework for exploring these deep concepts.
Yeah, what strikes me is that even though they're presenting it as this structured system, it's ultimately about an individual journey, a self-discovery.
Yeah.
It's about taking responsibility for your own spiritual evolution and using these tools and insights to become the architect of your own destiny.
So even if we don't have access to those higher grades, we can still apply these core principles to our own lives.
It's about cultivating that inner connection, that awareness of the true self, and allowing that to guide our actions.
Okay, now I'm really curious about those higher grades.
Yeah.
What about greater adept, exempt adept, magister templi?
Right.
Even maga synapsissimus.
Yeah.
What do those even mean?
Well, the text suggests that each grade involves a deeper level of surrender, understanding, and mastery. For example, the greater adept is described as someone who has achieved a state of conscious participation in the cosmic law, while the exempt adept is said to be free from the illusion of separateness, a channel for that boundless mercy of the life power.
Wow, that's next level stuff.
It is.
What about the magister templi?
Okay, so the magister templi, or the master of the temple, is described as someone who has mastered secrets of magical speech, building with ideas, understanding the cosmic plan.
So they're like architects of reality.
In a sense, yes.
Wow.
But it's important to remember that these abilities aren't used for personal gain or ego gratification.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to mess with that kind of power without a strong moral compass.
Exactly. And then you have the magus. Almost this mythical figure, someone who has perfected their imagination.
And can see the world through the eyes of God, commanding the powers of the subconscious.
Wow. That's pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
It is.
And then there's the ipsissimus.
Yeah.
The highest attainable grade?
Right.
What does that even mean?
The ipsissimus is described as the one who is most himself. Completely unified with the primal will.
So they're like the embodiment of the divine on earth.
Yes, a living example of what's possible when we realize...
It makes you wonder if such beings truly exist or if they're more like archetypes representing that ultimate potential.
That's a great question.
For human evolution.
And one that the text leaves open to interpretation. But I think the real point here is that these grades, even the really exalted ones, aren't about achieving some external status or title.
It's about the inner transformation
of consciousness that happens through dedicated practice.
It does.
And self-discovery.
It's not about what you call yourself, but about the level of awareness you've cultivated.
This makes me think about the idea of the true self.
Yeah.
It keeps coming up in the text.
It does.
What do they actually mean by that?
They present it as the core of our being. That divine spark within us that connects us to the one source. And the journey of Rosicrucianism, as it's described here, is ultimately about realizing that true self.
So it's not about becoming something we're not.
No.
It's about remembering who we truly are.
That's the heart of it.
Okay.
It's about recognizing our inherent divinity and living from that place of wholeness and connection.
This is making me think about the practical implications of this.
Yeah.
If the true Rosicrucian order isn't about joining some secret society, but about inner work, what does that actually look like in everyday life?
Well, it starts with cultivating a deep connection with the self through practices like meditation, contemplation, self-reflection.
So being mindful of our thoughts, words, and actions.
Absolutely.
Aligning them with these principles.
It's about weaving these practices into the fabric of our daily lives.
Right. It's not just about sitting on a meditation cushion for an hour a day.
No.
It's about bringing that awareness into everything we do.
Exactly.
The text also talks a lot about imagination and intention.
It does.
What's that all about?
They suggest that our thoughts and beliefs have a profound impact on our reality. By cultivating a positive and expansive mindset, we can actually shape our lives and the world around us.
So it's not just wishful thinking.
No.
It's about using our minds as tools for creation.
Precisely. Recognizing that we are co-creators with the universe and that by aligning our intentions
with that cosmic flow, we can manifest our deepest desires.
That reminds me of the idea of magical speech. Which they talk about with the Magister Templi.
Right. The text suggests that words have a vibratory power and that by using them consciously, intentionally, we can influence the world around us.
So it's not about casting spells or anything. It's about being mindful of the words we use.
It's about understanding that creative power, language, and using it for good.
This whole exploration of Rosicrucianism is really changing how I see the world.
That's the beauty of it.
And my place in it.
Diving deep into these wisdom traditions, they offer timeless insights.
I'm starting to see Rosicrucianism as a path of self-discovery.
It is.
And spiritual empowerment.
Absolutely.
It's about tapping into that divine within and using that power to create
a more meaningful life.
That's open to anyone who's willing
to do the inner work, to cultivate that connection with the self. And to live in alignment with those principles of wisdom, compassion, and love.
Wow. This whole deep dive into Rosicrucianism has been incredible. You started with this mysterious CRC guy and ended up exploring this whole system of spiritual development.
It is pretty amazing.
It's like they gave us a roadmap to unlocking our full potential.
What I find fascinating is how this text, it was published way back in 1927. But it demystifies Rosicrucianism. It's not this exclusive secret society. It's a journey of inner transformation.
They're basically saying, forget about that hidden temple or some guru on a mountaintop.
Exactly.
That the real work is inside you.
It is empowering.
And they give us all this detail about the grades.
Like
a spiritual curriculum.
It's like they're handing you a compass and saying, here are the general directions.
But you have to navigate the terrain yourself.
That's where the growth happens.
That's where it happens.
And it's interesting they included that warning about the fraudulent groups. It's a reminder to be cautious about anyone who claims to have all the answers.
It is.
Or promises like a shortcut to enlightenment.
There will always be people who try to take advantage of that spiritual longing.
Okay, so if we're not joining some secret society, how do we apply these principles?
Well, it starts with taking responsibility for our own spiritual growth.
Okay, so carving out that time.
For
meditation, contemplation, self-reflection.
It's about nurturing that inner connection. Becoming more aware of that true self.
And it's not just personal transformation.
No.
It's about bringing those principles of wisdom, compassion, and love into everything we do.
That is.
Recognizing that stark in everyone we meet.
Beautifully said.
It's about moving through the world with a sense of purpose.
Exactly.
That commitment to growth and evolution.
Yes, and remembering we can use our imagination and intention to create a better world.
Not just for ourselves, but for everyone.
For all beings.
So the real legacy of Rosicrucianism isn't about secret rituals or hidden knowledge. It's about empowering individuals to unlock their full potential. And become active participants in the evolution of consciousness.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Thank you.
It's a call to awaken to our true nature.
Yes.
To embody that divine spark.
It is.
And to create a more harmonious and enlightened world.
It is a beautiful path.
Well, I'm feeling inspired.
I am too.
Ready to start experimenting with some of these practices and see where this path leads.
Absolutely.
And to our listeners, remember, the path of self-discovery, it's a journey, not a destination.
It is.
Keep exploring.
Yes.
Keep questioning.
Keep trusting that inner guidance. Yeah. And who knows, maybe one day we'll all be those exempt adepts radiating love and wisdom wherever we go.
I love it.
Until then, keep diving deep.